the All-Star team, Jose Rosado.
But he's had a very effective first half. In a lot of ways, he's very similar to Tom Glavine. He likes to work the outside part of the plate with his fastball. Best pitch is his changeup by far. He will mix in an occasional breaking ball, but very rarely will he come inside where he can be hurt by the hitter. He'll come inside off the plate to set up that outside corner.
First at bat of the night for Javi Lopez. Batting in the spot vacated by Mike Piazza, who was 0 for 1 with a walk. And the numbers for Lopez: driven home 42, hit the 14 home runs, and got a full swing there, 1-1. You know, I don't think it's any surprise that a guy like Blauser gets the first hit. Lopez steps in there the first time. He goes up there pumping, gets a good swing. These Atlanta Braves players are used to playing in the spotlight game. And the nerves can't be as much of a factor for that swing. Strike 2. As it would for, say, a guy like Rosado.
The changeup is his out pitch, as we mentioned. He throws that big curveball to left-handers, a little tighter when more like a slider to right-handers. Try to run it in on their hands off the plate. But he lives on that outside corner.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and that's hit well. Is it fair? That's fair. It's gone, and we're tied. It is fair. And it's a 1-1 game in the 7th.
Changeup, one-handed, almost went over the foul pole. It missed by about 2 feet. Lopez knowing that if it's fair, it's gone. It hit the pole and bounced down. Hit about 2 feet from the top on that last rung of the foul pole.
Bagwell, little pop-up to short, caught by Garciaparra. 1 away here in the 7th inning. And they come in fast with catcher Cam, and this one left even faster.
And when you throw a changeup from the middle in, it's a pitch that a lot of hitters handle very well. A changeup on the outside part of the plate, your swing will go past the changeup as it approaches home plate. A changeup on the inside part of the plate, you will catch way out in front of home plate, and the only question was fair or foul. And by the way, you had such a good view of that ball down the line, because when the ball was hit, Sandy Alomar looked toward the line, and you saw the ball ringing off the foul pole.
Here's Moises Alou, looks at one pitch and goes to right for a base hit. And the National League, who came into this inning with only 1 hit, now has 2 in the inning, a leadoff home run, a 1-out hit by Alou, and the go-ahead run is on. And another Brave is Chipper Jones. First at bat of the night for Chipper, the switch-hitting third baseman. Second straight All-Star game for Chipper Jones. Strike 1 on Larry Wayne. And a guy who didn't cry or pout about not winning the Rookie of the Year award in 1995 when he had 23 home runs and drove in 86. Hideo Nomo of the Dodgers was the Rookie of the Year that year. Pretty well hit into right, but Anderson over to get it near the line. 2 gone here in the 7th inning. And standing by with Tony Gwynn is our own Chip Caray.
Tony, tough night tonight. What's going on in this All-Star thing?
Well, for me, at least in All-Star games, I get abused regularly. So, you know, I had some pretty good hacks early in the game. That last at-bat, I really, you know, Hinkin got my number. And so, you know, these are the best pitchers in the world. So you tip your cap and say, hey, we'll get them next time.
Kind of tough to come 3,000 miles and get jammed a couple times.
And that last bat was like an 8-grainer. I hated to see it go, but there's some lucky fan up in the stands will take it home as a souvenir.
I know you've been asked a million times to chase for 400. Could this be the year?
Who knows? You know, I think so, but, you know, we're going to have to wait till we get to September to find out. Right now, you know, Larry's swinging a bat good. I feel like I'm swinging a bat good, but still so much of the season left that you can't really say you can or not. You have to really wait till you get to September and see.
How about that Javier Lopez at bat? Would you critique that one for us?
Well, you know, it's funny because he hits the ball out of the ballpark and he came around all the way around the bases. It sounded like to me he said he hit a changeup. I thought it was a breaking ball. So, but you know, that's usually what happens later in the game. Guys come in and get a chance to watch a few innings, get relaxed, and you know, he had a real good at bat, and guys are having good at bats now. So hopefully we can put some more runs on the board.
I think I'll take your word over Javier Lopez. It's Tony, a class act. Good luck. Thanks again for visiting.
Thank you.
Joe, back to you upstairs.
All right, Chip. Well, I guess catchers think alike. You guys called changeup.
It was a changeup, straight change. Might be the first time in Tony Gwynn's life he's been wrong about a pitch.
You can understand it with the view he had.
Yeah, right.
At home plate, a different story. 1 on, 2 out. And that missed to Ray Langford, and he's up on the count, 2 balls and a strike.
It's not unusual for a hitter to come back to the bench, though, and not know what the pitch was that he hit for a home run. Sometimes the hitter gets so locked in, you just look for the baseball. It doesn't matter if it's straight, if it's fast, if it's slow, if it's breaking. You're locked into that baseball.
There's a good pitch from Rosado, 2-2. So Javier Lopez, in his only at-bat so far, goes deep. A leadoff home run to tie it, a 1-out hit by Alou. He's now at first with 2 out. And a 2-2 pitch from Rosado to Langford. Just missing the outside corner, and now a full count.
You might have been able to see that tape on the right hand, the throwing hand of Javi Lopez on the bench. You get a good look at that last pitch. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. But Lopez wraps the tape around the upper part of his right hand on the fingers there. It does not affect his throwing, and it allows the pitcher to see the signs much better. Sometimes the shadows in these ballparks, it's hard for pitchers to see the signs.
With Alou running on 3-2, Langford draws a walk, and that is the 4th walk handed to the National League tonight. So it's 2 on with 2 out, and we'll tell you about intensity. Dean Koontz's #1 bestseller. It's now a world premiere television event. You don't know what fear is until you experience this kind of intensity. Coming Tuesday, August 5th to Fox.
A lot of scary players in this ball game. None more scary than that book into a movie on Fox.
2 on, 2 out for Royce Clayton. So from one Cardinal to another, and ball 1 high from Rosado. First at bat for Royce, who was a late addition. He took over a spot left when Barry Larkin said he could not go. Lauser took his spot in the starting lineup, and now Clayton takes his roster spot. 2 on, 2 out. 2-0.
Well, a great scene down in the National League clubhouse today. Barry Larkin, you mentioned, injured, not able to play, and Royce Clayton lockering right next to each other, talking about hitting and martial arts, talking about balance and how you keep under control. You control your body. Don't get out there and get fooled by off-speed pitches.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. Paint the fence.
Clayton a big rip on 2-0. Now 2-1. So here's a guy who's added to the roster late. We've talked many times on our Saturday broadcast about Clayton and how he handled himself last year with Ozzie Smith and his farewell tour. Handled it better than anybody could have ever expected. And now playing every day for Tony La Russa. That's out of play, 2-2. Really is a credit to the kind of young man that Royce Clayton is. Very strong individual.
Thrust into a very tough situation. It would have been easy to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, but Royce kept his wits about him and just said he wanted to go out and play ball, help the team win. All those good cliches you hear, and he just went about his business.
2 men aboard for Clayton, trying to put the National League out in front. They've tied it here in the 7th. And a pretty good at bat. Stays 2-2. Alou with a 1-out hit to right, and then the 2-out walk to Ray Langford. There's an effort. You make the effort, we'll put you on.
It worked.
Put that thing back in his pocket now.
Is that Fax or Fox?
Good question. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Clayton. Now 3-2, and Rosado's had a rough inning. Runners will go with this next pitch. Womack hoping to get his chance. He's on deck. Johnson to Clemens to Cone to Thompson to Henkin, now Rosado. And the first run of the night for the National League. They want more. Runners go, and inning over. Clayton chased it on 3 and 2, and the top of the 7th inning is history. Javi Lopez went deep. He's wearing catcher cam for us, and he gave it a blast into left field, down the line, off the foul pole to tie this game at 1.
Brain freeze.
So good, it hurts. Slurpee. The coolest thing on earth.
The games last too long. Baseball gives you a chance to sit back, relax, and forget about your problems for a few hours.
Offer does not apply to Cubs and Red Sox fans.
I mean it.
I know.
I'm not coming back. I'm serious. It's final.
Go ahead.
Across America, more people use Cellular One than any other cellular service.
Till I get to this bridge, I'm not turning around. And I mean it.
His face, a mask of courage. Who are you? His armor,
Awesome hardware.
a living weapon. His mission, a fight for justice. His name, Spawn. Let's get it over with.
You've been violated, dirty rat.
Spawn, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, August 1st. Hey guys, ever wonder what a woman really thinks? We were good together, you and me. Ally McBeal, Mondays this fall on Fox.
One of the co-stars from Ally McBeal, Gil Bellows, is here with Maestro Clark. The show Rewind to his left, and Scott Baio, also from Rewind. At the end of the row, and the Cleveland Indian faithful are cheering as Jim Thome steps in his first at bat of the night. Batting for Edgar Martinez, and he took a ball low. One of the most likable guys in the big league. Facing the new left-hander, Sean Estes. 2-0. Mark Grace takes over at first base. Relieves Bagwell. And now Estes, a record of 12-2. One of the bigger surprises in baseball this season. Up the middle, Clayton to his left, wasn't hit all that hard, one away.
I thought it was interesting how Thome found out he had made the All-Star team. He had gone to Cedar Point, an amusement park in Sandusky, Ohio, not far from Cleveland, with Matt Williams. They had taken their families to Cedar Point to ride the rides, and they called him on the cell phone while he was waiting in line to ride the roller coaster.
You got the point.
He did, however, leave his number, so I think he had a pretty good idea.
The last man named to either All-Star squad.
And definitely someone who deserved to be named. Here's Bernie Williams. Hitting .306, and bothered by the bad hamstring this season. First at bat of the night, and he takes ball one low.
Bob, you mentioned Sean Estes, one of the bigger surprises, along with the San Francisco Giants, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Sean Estes almost was an Atlanta Brave. Braves tried to make the deal. Fred McGriff for Sean Estes last winter. John saying yesterday it would have given him a chance to go to a winner without realizing that the Giants would have such a great year this year, and certainly one of the big surprises in baseball, 6 games ahead in the National League West.
1-1 to Williams. Misses. 2 balls and a strike. Dusty Baker has done a terrific job with that San Francisco Giants ball club. And Sean Estes, as big a reason why they are sitting 6 games up in the NL West as anyone on that team. Late cut, 2-2.
Well, Dusty Baker will tell you he likes the kind of guys who have been cast off or downplayed for some reason or other and give them a chance to resurrect their careers. And Sean Estes was one of those guys. He was acquired in a trade with the Seattle Mariners for Solomon Torres, a prospect with the Giants who never seemed to reach his potential. The Mariners felt the same way about Estes. Now Sean Estes finds himself pitching in the All-Star game.
Two to Williams. Wouldn't bite. Full count with 1 out, nobody on. Dusty Baker likes those cast-offs. You can say the same for Philippe Alou up in Montreal. He tends to end up with the same players. There's Dusty Baker on the right. Very proud of Sean Estes, who pitches here in his first All-Star game. And the ultimate of irony, Solomon Torres has been with the Expos this year. Did not work out up in Seattle. Nobody on, and the 3-2 to Bernie Williams. Just low for a 1-out walk. In a 1-1 game here in the 7th inning, a 1-out walk delivered by Estes. And our game summary is brought to you by 7-Eleven. And the battle between Larry Walker and Randy Johnson ended up in a walk with some comedy mixed in. Edgar Martinez hit a solo shot in the 2nd. Jeff Blauser had the only hit and was the only starter with a hit until the 7th inning, when the Lopez home run tied it. Later a hit by Alou, and the National League stranded 2 in the inning. They've left 5. Here's Cora. First at bat of the night for Joey Cora. Giving the Mariners exactly what they need at the top of their lineup. He shoots one into left center field. Back near the wall is Finley. Williams will tag but not advance. 2 out in the inning. Little Joey Cora just got under it. And with 1 on, 2 out. Here's the 2nd out of the inning.
Joey Cora not known for his power. Just got under that a little bit. Otherwise, he would have had that ball into the left field seats. If you could will it out of the ballpark, it would be in the seats right now.
And a big round of applause for Sandy Alomar Jr. He has a 30-game hitting streak alive and well. And he takes a ball just outside from Estes.
Only one other catcher in Major League history has hit consecutively in more games. That was Benito Santiago back in 1987.
1 on, 2 out. Alomar leading the league in hitting a 1-ball, 1-strike count as rain starts to fall here in the 7th inning. There's the streak, Sandy Alomar. The next man on the list is the top man on the list. Santiago is a rookie in '87. The hitting streak started over a month ago. Extended, by the way, on Sunday with an infield hit in his first at bat. There's strike 2.
And Sandy Alomar's hot zone right now is red hot. It's all red. It goes from simply red to just hot to sizzling.
And remember, for all of you meteorologists out there, the deeper the red, the hotter the hitter. And here is Alomar with 1 on, 2 outs, backed up at a ball and 2 strikes. That gets away from Lopez, and the go-ahead run down to second with 2 out. Lopez has been handcuffed a couple of times, Bob.
Well, Sean Estes has a good fastball, but his best pitch and the toughest pitch for a catcher to handle is that big sweeping breaking ball, and Estes hangs on just a little bit too long. Well, the mask hit the ground there.
That wasn't Javi, right?
I hope not.
No, he got rid of the mask.
And the camera.
1 on, 2 out. Go ahead run at second for Alomar. Into left center field. Hometown hero, goodbye.
Told you he was hot, down and out over the plate. Watch where this pitch is.
Another look at it, a breaking ball from Estes, out over the plate and down, as Timmy said. Allows Sandy Alomar to get full extension, and the fans love it here in Cleveland.
With a chant of MVP. Few pay attention to the at-bat by Jeff Cirillo, including Sandy Alomar Jr. What a season, 1997 for Sandy Alomar Jr. 2 balls and a strike on Cirillo. What did his teammates think of the go-ahead home run?
Well, you can see Joey Cora jump up first. He said, that's what I meant to do.
Alomar did it. It's 3-1 American League and a 3-1 count on Jeff Cirillo.
You know, it's interesting. I ran into Sandy Alomar in the tunnel right before the ball game tonight, and I wished him best wishes in the ball game, and he said, hey, I just hope to get in the game. Pudge Rodriguez is such a great catcher. I just hope to get in the game.
A strike and a full count on Cirillo. I guess this is the night of back rubs. He goes over and sits down, and his manager, Mike Hargrove, gives him a back rub.
And Mike Hargrove telling him, don't forget how you did that.
Thursday in Minnesota.
Still 3-2 on Cirillo. We talked about it on Saturday. Sandy Alomar Jr. pulling a muscle, his stomach or rib cage area. Did not want to go on the disabled list yet again. It's cut down his swing, and here he is leading the league in hitting. Inning over, but not before major damage. Sandy Alomar does it. After 7, 3-1 American League.
Like a...
Hey, when are you gonna buy a new truck and sell me this one? You know you deserve a new truck, man. Oh, come on, man. You know, I've been asking you for years, how much you want for it? You know, ballpark, what do you think? I mean, you gonna keep it forever? Come on. Right.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
I think I might know someone who can take it off your hands for you.
Really?
Hey, you want some pizza?
No, I don't want pizza. I'm driving.
Gee, I dropped my fries.
Hey, you're messing up my car.
Oops, drop the ketchup.
Oh, great. Now you can try the new Bacon Ranch Twister, plus a Pepsi, just $2.99.
Sea turtles. They bury their eggs in some tropical beach. When the eggs hatch, the babies find their way to the water and across miles of ocean. Now, we also have this built-in sense of direction when we're in our own shells.
CARN, the car navigation system from Philips Magnavox. It shows exactly how to get to where you want to go.
Man has finally caught up with nature.
Hon, could you get me some aspirin?
Greg, you're taking aspirin every day for your heart now.
Right.
Didn't your doctor say to take Tylenol for your pain?
Yeah, taking even more aspirin might irritate my stomach, huh?
That's what he said. Aspirin for your heart?
And Tylenol for my pain.
For patients on aspirin heart therapy, Tylenol is the pain reliever doctors recommend most for aches and pains.
I'm glad you're looking out for me.
Well, you still have a few miles left in you.
How do you stop a cold-blooded killer who's not afraid to die? From the #1 runaway bestseller by Dean Koontz, Intensity begins August 5th on Fox.
Welcome back to the 8th inning here in Cleveland with the American League out in front 3-1. Action and adventure are alive and well on Fox this summer while the other networks are showing reruns. You'll experience the passion, magic, and the mystery of Roar. An epic new series premiering this Monday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central here on Fox. Two changes as we get to the 8th. Chuck Knobloch, one of the best defensively in the business at second base, takes over from the Minnesota Twins, and not a bad setup guy, Randy Myers, to pitch the 8th.
The American League carrying two relievers on their roster. The National League only one, Rod Beck. Randy Myers is one of the relievers on the American League club along with Mariano Rivera. Randy Myers' numbers on the season: fastball, forkball, occasional slider to a left-hander, maybe a hand grenade once in a while.
He likes to keep those hanging around in his locker. Randy Myers is not all there, and he'll be the first to tell you. Here's Tony Womack leading off in the 8th inning. So his first at bat is to face a left-hander Myers. Quickly a 0-2 count on Womack. Leading off and wouldn't chase, 1-2. Roberto Alomar on your left. Sandy Alomar, the hero right now behind the plate, and a 2-2 count on Womack.
You might have noticed that black ribbon on the uniform of Roberto Alomar. There's also one on Sandy Alomar's uniform. That's to pay respect to their grandmother, who passed away recently at the age of 96 years old, Tony Velasquez. He said she'll be watching from upstairs.
And what Randy Myers doesn't want to watch now is Tony Womack get on first base. He had 30 straight stolen bases until last week.
Count stays full, 3-2. And the report on Randy Myers, the hard-throwing left-hander.
And because of that, the chances of Womack pulling the ball are almost nil. He'll hit it to left. See? Able to pull it to the right side, and Knobloch makes the play. One away. That'll bring in Galarraga, who's now the DH, and another Miller Time All-Star memory. The scene is Tiger Stadium for the 1971 All-Star Game. The AL trailing 3-0 until Oakland's Reggie Jackson hit this 520-foot home run that struck the light tower atop the right center roof off the Pirates' Doc Ellis. The AL came from behind to win 6-4, and that ended an 11-year All-Star Game drought. Here's Galarraga, the DH, hitting .323 and 84 RBIs. Quickly an 0-2 count.
Earlier this season down at Pro Player Stadium in Miami on May 31st in the 4th inning against Kevin Brown, Andres Galarraga 529 feet into the very top deck. leading the Rockies to an 8-4 victory.
But here, a little off balance, and a punch out for Randy Myers, 2 gone here in the 8th inning.
That's the one thing that has made Randy Myers much more difficult this year than in past years. Control of the changeup. For 8 years, all he threw was fastball slider. And with Ray Miller as the pitching coach and doing such a remarkable job, that changeup has served him well this year.
2 out, nobody on for Finley. And all of this, you would imagine, in an effort to set up Mariano Rivera. So a bleak picture for the National League, the final 2 innings. Myers has gone through the first 2 here in the 8th and now gets the pleasure of dealing with a left-hander. Strike 2. Talking about a guy in Randy Myers who has had a wonderful career, 30 or more saves for 5 different teams. Cincinnati, the Mets, San Diego, Chicago, and of course the Orioles. 1-2 on Finley.
He was part of that nasty boys bullpen in Cincinnati along with Rob Dibble and Norm Charlton. It's quite a weapon for a manager to have 3 closers coming out of your bullpen.
Ball and 2 strikes, and Finley wouldn't chase it.
All that Cincinnati team did was sweep the highly favored Oakland Athletics in the 1990 World Series.
2-2. Finley stays alive. And when you talked last year about the New York Yankees, Joe Torre will tell you it was a 6-inning game. The opposition wasn't ahead after 6 innings. Mariano Rivera for 2 innings. John Wetland to save it in the 9th inning. Here's Mariano Rivera getting ready to save it for the American League. And of all people, Jose Rosado, who's given up the only run tonight. Myers strikes out Finley over the outside corner. We go into the bottom of the 8th inning. Griffey will bat. American League out in front by 2.
I'll tell you, baseball games are too long.
Strike 2 pitch to Griffey.
We are tied!
Just tied this game at 2-2.
It just continues!
Sorry. Troy Aikman is back to pass. He's looking, and ooh, Aikman's down.
He had a man wide open. What was this guy thinking?
Brute, it's all part of the game.
All right, guys. Same play.
What do you call it when a band that sells out arenas months in advance does a surprise show in a tiny little club? The MGD blind date. Small clubs, large bands, big mystery. Listen to your radio to win.
Chevy Venture gives you flip and fold seats, because you never know when a little extra room is going to come in handy. The all-new Chevy Venture is here. Let's go.
Go! Raw. Premiering Monday on Fox.
The 1997 All-Star Game on Fox is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft, who reminds you it's time for a good old macro brew. By Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Pepsi, who invites you to join Generation Next. And by 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Well, with the rain lightly falling here in Cleveland, a couple of changes for the National League as Charles Johnson, as good a defensive catcher as there is in baseball, takes over behind the plate, and he catches the right-hander Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones 12-5 on the year. That's incorrect. He's not 12-2. 3.08 ERA.
And a grounder to first, picked up by Grace, but a foul ball. So Brady Anderson will come back to the plate. Grace tried to get to it before it hopped foul, but it's strike 2.
Guys, the only regular player that has not played for either side is Albert Bell, and I think that's more than a coincidence. Albert Bell was soundly booed when he was introduced tonight. You may remember the incident when things were thrown at him. He gave the salute to the fans. He was fined $50,000, and I think Joe Torre is keeping Albert Bell out of this ball game. I don't think he wants him to be roundly booed like he was when he was introduced earlier tonight.
Ball and 2 strikes. Brady Anderson leading off. And, ooh, that barely missed. 2-2. And I guess with Albert Bell, it's obvious by now you're dealing with a wild card. And as you see, the only one left on that bench, there's no telling how Albert might react.
Right.
In response to how the fans might react. And because this is the All-Star game and because this is a celebration of the game of baseball, maybe Joe Torre, and it's pure speculation, doesn't want to take the risk. Yep. But he is the only one left. And our cameras cannot find him on the bench if you want to read anything into that. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I don't think there was any doubt about what kind of reaction he was going to get back here at Cleveland. For that fact alone, if you're not going to put him in the game because you're fearful of what it will do to this joyous celebration of the game, then you probably shouldn't have picked him for the team in the first place.
Have a point, being that it's here in Cleveland.
Still 2-2 on Brady Anderson. Bobby Jones had as good a start any pitcher in baseball this year, maybe with the exception of Roger Clemens. But as surprising a start as anybody. Back and out of play, and Tim, you get a chance to watch those Mets, and while before last year we heard of those top 3 guys, Wilson, Pulsifer, and Isringhausen. Joe McIlvaine on your right, the general manager of the Mets, has to be thrilled to death with what he's getting out of Bobby Jones and others.
Out of that 25-man roster, Bobby Valentine, one of the more underrated jobs in baseball that he has done with the Mets over the first half of the season. They're only 2 games behind the Florida Marlins in the wild card race in the National League.
Good at bat here by Anderson from 0-2 to 3-2. And a base hit to left field. Brady Anderson is 2 out of 4. He's doubled and now singled, and a good start to the 8th inning for the American League.
Well, the more pitches you see in at bat, the better chance you have of getting a base hit, I feel. And Brady Anderson fouled off some tough pitches. He took some tough pitches, got a breaking ball up and out over the plate, and just shot it through that hole on the left side.
And here is Nomar Garciaparra, the rookie shortstop for the Boston Red Sox. Up there hacking away. He won the rookie home run derby here yesterday, got in the main home run derby, did not go deep with the other veterans. The Red Sox director of scouting, Wayne Britton, held his breath when Garciaparra, Georgia Tech, fell down to the number 12 spot. Boy, did he make a good selection with Garciaparra in that 12th position. Here he is, a rookie in the All-Star game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Reminds a lot of people of a former Red Sox shortstop, Rico Petrocelli, a shortstop that also hit for power. Has that little idiosyncratic thing he does with his batting clubs. After every pitch, he steps out of the box and does the little routine.
2 balls and a strike. Anderson running, and he'll have to come back now. 2-2. It's funny, he talked to Joe Torre before the game yesterday. He said, I'm probably not even going to have any signs. If guys want to run, if guys want to hit behind runners, if guys want to lay a bunt down, well, fine. It's up to them. And the worst thing I could do, what did he tell you, Tim?
He said tonight before the game that the only way he could mess this game up is if he managed. Typical Torre humor.
1 on, nobody out, and Garciaparra to third for Chipper Jones. They'll get the force, and that's it, 5-4. So now 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning with the American League out in front by 2. And we remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. And while I read that, makes me think of a comment you made the other day, Tim McCarver, about potential commissioners Major League Baseball, and a wonderful choice that I've never heard. We just had him on camera, Joe Torre.
Well, it is a very interesting thought. Of course, right now, Joe Torre can't take the cut to entertain the notion of being the commissioner of baseball.
Might be a little less hectic, however.
Right.
Strike two on Griffey. Bud Selig is under the umbrella. And you can say what you want about Bud Selig, and a lot of people have said a lot of things about Bud Selig, fair and unfair. But a lot of things that he has tried to do have worked and worked well, interleague play being one of them. Interleague play would not have happened without Bud Selig's approval and without him driving it to happen. And this year, I think it's blatantly obvious that the fans of baseball have enjoyed it. Griffey strikes out as Jones gets him on a pitch low and away, 2 gone. A lot of things under the watch of Bud Selig. Revenue sharing, which a lot of people thought would never, ever be agreed to by the owners.
And the cost of that was the obliteration of the latter part of the '94 season and postseason play as the players went on strike into the '95 season. And baseball just recovering from that debacle of the mid-'90s.
1 on, 2 out, and McGuire at the plate. Strike 2. Bobby Jones able to get a fastball by Mark, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's set up again. 6th pitcher of the night for the National League. He barely missed. 1 and 2. Don't forget that immediately following the game, join us for complete post-game coverage on your local Fox Sportsnet affiliate. McGuire wouldn't chase. 2 and 2. A leadoff hit by Brady Anderson. Force out, hit into by Garciaparra. Griffey struck out. Garciaparra at first, 2 out. And the 2-2 to McGuire. 2 quick ones now, 3 and 2.
One thing Bobby Jones does not want to do here is give in to McGuire down. Mark McGuire is one of those devastating low ball hitters in the game.
Runner will go, and he got him. McGuire is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, and we head into the 9th inning. Last chance for the National League. They'll face Rivera, 3-1 American League.
Bob, Joe Gaddy. Yeah, I think somebody better make sure that Walt's in the loop on this. Joe Gaddy. Just spoke to Bob. Yeah, I want you to know where we are. Hello, Leo. Joe. Joe Gaddy.
Across America, more people use Cellular One for more different reasons than any other cellular service.
Hello, Phyllis. Joe Gaddy. I want to remind you the meeting with Bob and Walt is Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay, Dad, you can use the phone now.
Oh, okay. Thanks, honey. No, not you, Phyllis. No, let's...
Well, you've got to say it's a great day for a ball game today. The fans are all in.
Hot dog. Hot dog. It's a hot dog here, sir. It's a hot dog.
Get your ice cold drink.
Everybody
Ice
is
cold
for
drink.
this game as things are just about ready to get underway.
Thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Thank heaven. Oh, thank heaven.
Go where you wanna go. Find the road you haven't taken.
This is the tire that changed driving forever. The all-season Goodyear Aqua Tread with the advanced Deep Groove Aqua Channel that sweeps water away for serious traction in the wet, especially in braking. Goodyear Aqua Tread.
Serious freedom. Goodyear.
Hey, Carl, you're a smart guy, right?
Yeah, well...
Nice family.
Good job.
Beautiful, huh?
So,
Did you not just buy a set of golf clubs off the internet?
and did you not just pay for said golf clubs with your credit card?
So... Are you crazy?
Thanks. Hackers.
Cyber thieves. Consequences.
Grave consequences.
Your life may be ruined.
By the time you get home.
Click, click.
Like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's safe.
How do you know?
I know.
IBM is making it safer to buy things over the web.
From the director and producer of Independence Day. The Visitor. Fridays this fall on Fox.
We are ready for the 9th inning. The National League coming to bat down by 2. We introduced catcher cam here tonight, and by the way, our heartfelt thanks to Jerry Gettner, Jerry Steinberg for all the work that they did perfecting that. It really worked out well. Not to say that the project didn't start slowly.
This was the prototype that we tried to get Mike Piazza and Pudge Rodriguez and the rest of the guys to use, but for some reason they didn't want anything to do with this one. So thanks to the people in engineering for coming up with such a great device, giving us all those great shots tonight.
So that would have been a little awkward, don't you think, Robert?
Just a bit. Here's Mariano Rivera. Takes over in the 9th inning, trying to save it. 3-1, the American League out in front, and the numbers for Rivera. Some wondered if he could indeed become a big league closer after setting up last year. Well, he's done that about as well as you can. 0-2 quickly on Charles Johnson, first at bat. Look over the spot vacated by Todd Hundley, who's got a bad elbow. Barely missed. 1-2 from Rivera.
Charles Johnson was at Shea Stadium on Sunday. He had planned to go to Bermuda with his wife. She went to LaGuardia Airport, called back, and she had some tickets to leave, and the traveling secretary of the Marlins said, "You and your husband are going to Cleveland for the All-Star game." So the happy Johnsons are here. Not too happy now after facing Rivera.
So they missed the trip. Charles Johnson comes to Cleveland, and he strikes out in his only at bat in the 9th inning. National League down to their final 2 outs. And the batter will be Mark Grace. He gets his first at bat. Strike 1. And for all of those National Leaguers who have heard tell of Mariano Rivera, here's your chance, and I hope that Mark brought another bat with him to Cleveland.
Well, there's Cora Cam. Camcorder. He's going to take home some of his own memories of this All-Star game.
By the way, a very good first inning of work for Randy Myers. Perfect with 2 strikeouts. To the right side, McGuire. Quickly, 2 up, 2 down. And we need to show you our Red Lobster catch of the day. Tim talked about it. You'll watch Alomar look to second, think better of it, and get the out at first as he got Biggio way back in the 3rd inning. And that is our Red Lobster catch of the day. 2 out, nothing shaking for the National League. They right now have a 3-game winning streak in jeopardy. Moises Alou is the last hope for the National League. He is 1 for 1. Producer of tonight's game, John Filippelli. The director, Billy Webb. Ed Gorin, executive producer of Fox Sports, David Hill. Scott Ackerson produced the pregame show. Bill Brown, the senior producer with Fox Sports. Lance Garrett, Kathy Hunt, Carol Langley, Steve Horn, Barry Landis. Thanks to one and all who helped bring the 68th All-Star game to you. 2 balls and a strike with 2 out, nobody on here in the 9th inning. National League batting and down by 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball from Mariano Rivera. And the crowd here at Jacobs Field hoping that there's only 1 pitch left. Ball game. The American League wins it 3-1. And who did it? Sandy Alomar Jr. Winning pitcher Rosado, losing pitcher Estes, and the save for Rivera. Fitting to have a shot of Sandy Alomar Jr. for that chest protector. As we tell you that at the end of tonight's game, we'll all be back to select the Chevrolet Player of the Game. Joe Torre, his first job as manager in the All-Star game. He's a winner. The American League wins it 3-1. Back in a minute.
Braving high seas, we haul in the catch for lobster and shrimp, all made from scratch. As your order comes in, we start on your dish. The lobster is broiled, the shrimps as you wish. And all of this freshness and cooking to taste is all for a dinner set down at your place. Lobster and shrimp, just $11.99 at Red Lobster. Prepared so fresh, you can taste it.
When we decided to have a baby, we knew we had to stop smoking first.
We had the motivation. We needed the help.
We chose Nicorette gum because it was flexible. Gave us a choice of 2 strengths, one for light smokers, me,
One for heavy smokers, me.
and the power to decide, how much to use and when to use it to fight our cravings.
We've been officially smoke-free for a year now.
And in gratitude, we're thinking of calling the baby Nicorette. It's a joke, honey.
Nicorette gum will help you quit smoking successfully by helping you control your cravings. You can do it. Nicorette can help. Television can be very confusing. Sports channels next to cartoon channels, next to cooking programs. It's all jumbled together. Wouldn't it be great if somebody organized it all? Well, PrimeStar has. We added more new channels. There's 160 in all. Then we specially grouped them by category, so it's easy to find what you want. And with PrimeStar, you don't have to buy the dish. Call 1-800-PRIME-STAR or visit your local Radio Shack.
A world you've never seen. Adventure you've never known. A hero you'll never forget. Roar premieres Monday at 9, 8 Central.
Welcome back to Cleveland, where the American League wins it 3-1. And tonight's genuine Chevrolet Player of the Game, and the 1997 All-Star Game MVP is Sandy Alomar Jr. This swing did it for the American League. They win it 3-1. He's our player of the game. Let's send it down to the field and Chip Carey.
Joe Buck, thank you very much. I'm here with Sandy Alomar Jr., who is the MVP of the 1997 All-Star Game. I'm also here with the chairman of the Executive Council, Bud Selig. He's here to make the presentation.
Sandy, on behalf of Major League Baseball, it is a great pleasure to present the Most Valuable Player Award for the 1997 All-Star Game. Your 2-run home run was dramatic, and you've deserved it. Congratulations. It was a great ball game.
Thank you very much.
What about this night? In front of the hometown crowd in Cleveland, you're the MVP of the All-Star Game.
Well, I don't even know how to start, what to say. All I know is that I dedicated this game to my grandmother. She passed away 4 days ago. My family's in Puerto Rico watching, and I don't know how to explain it. This is an unbelievable feeling, playing in front of a hometown crowd and delivering like this. This is a dream of everybody's dream.
You have been hitting and hitting and hitting a 30-game hit streak, and you keep it going, so to speak, with a home run here tonight.
Well, I've been feeling pretty good. I thank God for giving me health. The whole year I've been healthy, and I told a lot of people if I was healthy that I was able to perform.
What about the pitch you hit from Sean Estes? What was going through your mind when you made contact?
I'll tell you what, the guy has a nasty curveball, so I was just trying to stay back. I didn't even know what I hit. I didn't even know if it was a changeup or a fastball. I knew that I made good contact in front of home plate, and the ball took off out of the bat pretty quick.
And last, what about these fans here in Cleveland?
Oh, they're incredible. They've been hungry for this situation, for the All-Star Game. They've been talking about this the whole year, and this is a gift from God. I'm telling you, they've been outstanding.
You are the MVP of the All-Star Game. Sandy Alomar Jr., congratulations. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, he's the MVP, the hometown hero, Sandy Alomar Jr. with the hardware. Joe Buck, let's send it back to you upstairs.
All right, Chip, it's tough not to smile along with Sandy Alomar Jr. What you see is what you get with Sandy Alomar Jr., a wonderful person, part of a wonderful family. Sandy is the first Indian to win the All-Star MVP award. Back with more in a minute.
Hey, Fred,
the Brontosaurus burger?
No, Barney, I'm driving.
Oops, I got my fries.
Watch the confidence, pterodactyl.
This new Twister sure makes for a smooth ride.
What? Welcome to the 90s.
Now you can try the new Bacon Ranch Twister, plus a Pepsi, just $2.99.
This is a demonstration. With all the Lucent wireless systems and technology out there, this is now just about the only place where you can't stay in touch. Lucent Technologies. We make the things that make communications work.
You're just... My name is Sutton. I'm with the Justice Department.
I am an American citizen, and I demand to see Alice Sutton.
He probably is crazy, but there's something about Jerry that...
I love her so bad, she wrecks me.
Jerry Fletcher has theories.
This is my newsletter. Conspiracy theory.
Now, one of his theories is true.
I must have hit a nerve with one of those articles. If you hurt Alice, I'll kill you.
Conspiracy Theory, a Richard Donner film. Rated R. Starts Friday, August 8th.
Is it magic? Can you feel it? What time is it?
Snail time.
Body's on.
The jam is on. The Miller Lite Music Event of 97. Catch it.
Hate the taste of Arm & Hammer toothpaste? Then try new Smooth Spearmint. Now the baking soda toothpaste that dentists recommend most has a refreshing spearmint ribbon of flavor. New Smooth Spearmint from Arm & Hammer.
Troy Aikman is back to pass. He's looking, and ooh, Aikman's down.
He had a man wide open. What was this guy thinking?
Brute. It's all part of the game.
All right, guys. Same play.
A 3-1 win for the American League. Standing by with another hometown hero, first baseman Jim Thome, is Steve Lyons.
All right, we're down in the American League dugout with Indians. Jim Thome. Jimmy, you were a late addition to this ball club. You got to tell me what kind of feelings you had when you went to the plate with the ovation in front of the hometown crowd.
Well, I mean, it's definitely something undescribable. Just to be here and participate and watch, Sandy do great, and it's awesome. I mean, this ballpark and the fans, I think they've done a tremendous job at coming out and supporting us, and they showed America why tonight.
Sandy Alomar is the MVP, teammate of yours. You got to feel that kind of pride just being on the same ball club.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, he probably had a lot of the same feelings I did because of the crowd. They cheer for you. And to produce like that's awesome. I mean, Sandy's having a magical year, and he proved it tonight. He's really going out and relaxing and just letting it happen.
Now, you are a big fan of our helmet cam down here, watching the replays. Tell us what that looked like to you being a player.
Well, it's definitely, I think it's a new thing to baseball. It's a little different, and I think it'd be nice to have it for the next couple years, whatever, and let it go on. I think it can help hitters out and pitching.
24 big home runs for you so far this year. What do you think this ball club needs in order to continue the success they're having in the second half?
Well, I think, number one, we got to get consistent pitching. I think our pitching has to get consistent. The Cleveland Indians are always going to hit. And when we don't hit, it seems like our pitching comes through, or we don't hit, or vice versa. So I think if we're going to compete and go to the dance, I think we got to go out and get another pitcher.
All right, Jimmy, congratulations and good luck.
All right, guys.
Joe, back to you guys up there.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. And our thanks to Jim Thome. Congratulations to Sandy Alomar Jr. and the American League. A 3-1 win. We'll wrap it up when we come back to Jacobs Field in a minute.
Some people are learning quite a lot about brakes these days.
But what they may not know is that AC Delco has brakes for just about everything on the road. From Fords to Chryslers to Hondas to Toyotas. So, no matter what they drive, or how they're driving it, they can trust AC Delco to put a stop to it.
Go where you wanna go. Leave the boundary far behind you.
Introducing the all-new Goodyear Eagle F1 with racing-inspired dual aqua channels that sweep water away for serious traction in the wet, especially in braking. The new ultra-high-performance Goodyear Eagle F1.
Serious freedom. Goodyear, Goodyear.
Is this safe?
Is it safe? Safe?
Not safe. It's not safe.
It's safe.
It's not safe.
Not safe.
I read it wasn't safe.
It's too risky.
It's not safe.
What are you talking about?
Shopping on the internet. Your son is shopping on the internet.
The internet. With his credit card. It's the future of commerce. I read about it.
It could be safe.
Well, how do you know?
IBM is making it safer to buy things over the web.
Snapper's great More for 40 deal. Buy any new Snapper walk-behind mower and get any one of these handy Snapper accessories for under $40 and get more from your Snapper mower. More efficient grass collection with the Snapper bagging system. More effective thatch removal with the Snapper Thatcherizer. Or more leaf relief with the Snapperizer Leaf Shredder. Go to your local Snapper dealer today and get more for 40.
Snapper. Anything less just won't cut it. See your local Snapper dealer today.
Well, we found out tonight that Mother Nature is a fan of the All-Star game. The rain, for the most part, stayed away, and once again, our final score, the American League wins it 3-1 over the National League. Be sure to catch more exciting baseball action with Major League Baseball on FX. Friday, the Toronto Blue Jays take on the Boston Red Sox at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, or the Texas Rangers battle the Seattle Mariners at 7 Pacific. And don't forget to join us for Fox Saturday Baseball. See the surprising New York Mets taking on the Atlanta Braves, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central with In the Zone. This is Joe Buck for Tim McCarver, Bob Brenly, Chip Carey, and Steve Lyons saying so long from Jacobs Field. More post-game. Remember, tune in to your local Fox Sports station. Hope you've enjoyed it from Jacobs Field in Cleveland, where the American League wins it 3-1, and the hometown hero, Sandy Alomar Jr., does it with a home run ball. Remember, more coming up on Fox Sports News.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home of the NFL, NHL, and Major League Baseball.
All-star action at its finest as the eyes of the baseball world are focused on Jacobs Field as the American League snaps a 3-year losing streak. It is the night Cleveland and baseball fans everywhere will remember for years to come, the 68th All-Star Game at Jacobs Field.
Oh, the best of the boys of summer came to play ball tonight and let their awesome talent shine. We have team coverage beginning with Fox 8 News anchor Mark Spain, who captured the mood of the event tonight. He joins us live now from the newsroom. Mark, it was a big night for Cleveland and a huge night for the Indians.
Absolutely, Tim and Wilma. Huge indeed. Sandy Alomar Jr. registering his first All-Star homer tonight and being selected the game's most valuable player. From what I understand, the first Indians player to be labeled an MVP for an All-Star game. What an honor for Sandy. Of course, we all salute him. JT, I'm sure we'll have highlights in just a bit. But one word that sums up the entire night in Cleveland is impressive. The skies turned ugly for a little while, but the sun smiled on everybody watching the game inside the Jake. If you really wanted baseball heaven on earth, this was the place to be.
All gates are now open for the 97 All-Star Game.
The most desired ticket in town belonged to a precious few. Every fan going through a turnstile picked up one of these.
What do you think about these All-Star commemorative seat cushions? Well, it's a surprise, and, you know, it's free. It's beautiful.
I was not expecting it, so I'm an extra added bonus, especially because we're sitting in the bleachers, so...
Going to make the game a little easier to watch.
Yes, I think so. Program! All-Star program!
Fans came armed for the occasion.
I just saw, I think it was Brady Anderson, Cal Ripken, I think, is over there.
This is certain to be a once-in-a-lifetime happening for many.
We are lucky enough to have season tickets, and this was one that I insisted on getting to share with.
This is just a great time for anybody that loves baseball, fans, players, everybody.
Indians first baseman and late All-Star addition Jim Thome met with fans and gave one young man the thrill of his life by signing his baseball.
He's about the only player that signed it, him and Justice, so thank you, Jim Thome.
For a whole new generation of baseball fans, the 68th All-Star Game is sure to be the highlight of their lives. The game and the food.
Excited about the game?
Excited about how excited?
Really excited.
Exciting because Cleveland's record-setting 5th All-Star Game was a grand slam.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Of course, rain started falling late in the game, but it didn't matter one bit. What Sandy Alomar Jr. did tonight lifted all those dark clouds away. Cleveland has reason to be proud, and Sandy is definitely a big part of it. American League wins 3-1. Tim and Wilma.
Oh, and he's such a quality guy, too.
Absolutely.
You couldn't be happier. Oh, yeah, you couldn't be happier for anybody.
And when people say, say that I look like him now, I'll have even more reason to be proud.
You know, you do. I'll be
Maybe you can go out and sign autographs that way, huh?
Hey, why not? MVP
Thanks,
Spain.
Mark. What has turned it... All right, we're going to go to John Telich coming up in just a few minutes. He'll be live at Jacobs Field with a complete wrap-up on the game. But first, no ticket, no problem. At the Fox Field of Dreams, every baseball lover's hopes of seeing the game of the year can come true. The scene is Nautica in the Flats on the very big screen, the Major League Baseball All-Star matchup featuring baseball's best. With a sellout crowd packing Jacobs Field, the Fox 8 Field of Dreams is turning out to be an exciting, fun alternative.
Well, I got my nephew with me, so thought he'd enjoy it too.
Can you see what's going on the screen?
Yeah, pretty good. Good seats.
It's good enough for me. I like it. Cheaper.
Well, that's for sure. The price is right. According to early estimates, approximately 2,500 people cheered and jeered the players like Albert Bell during the player introductions as they stepped up to bat on that huge video screen. Well, it's been a financial dream of an All-Star weekend for the city of Cleveland. It's believed that $37 million has been spent here over the past few days, and vendors of all types won't argue with that figure. At Tower City, store managers say out-of-town guests spent an average of $70 to $100 on souvenirs. Now, when you include hotel, food, tickets, fan fest, and the like, the average amount spent increases to nearly $1,000 per out-of-towner.
Well, youngsters on the east side of our city will certainly remember this week's All-Star festivities for a long time, thanks to a lasting reminder of this, one of our city's greatest events. A brand new playground was unveiled today, the first of 5 Larry Doby playgrounds that will be built around Cleveland. The playgrounds were named for Doby, the first African-American to play in the American League. The unique feature is this is one in the shape of Jacobs Field. Now, we're told that the 5 Larry Doby playgrounds will be built within the next 2 years. The total cost is about $500,000, money donated by Cleveland Indians charities. Well, we've got much more for you here on Fox 8 News. A strong warning for you about possible health hazards linked to a diet drug combination that's taken by millions of people.
And a warning to those who eat some types of fish caught in Ohio. They may be harmful to children.
Also, the latest amazing images from the surface of Mars.
Well, if I had money to tell you what to do, I'd go downtown, buy a Ford truck or two. I'm crazy about a Ford truck.
And here's a deal that you'd be crazy to